It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
If you haven't heard this before, this is bananas. Kat can tell you what you do for a living just by knowing your first name, and we put it to the test, and you'll get a peek at that a little bit later on in the podcast. Let's go. I'm interested to find out about your grandmother's final wardrobe change.
Okay. It's navy blue, and it is a pantsuit almost. And it's in a Macy's bag at the back of her closet, and she's shown me multiple times. I hate talking about death with my grandparents. I know that it is inevitable. I know it will happen, but like the conversations of, okay, look around the room we're in. What do you want? What do you want to take? You know, I'm like, I don't want to talk like this.
Did they speak of this often? Because,
Yes.
I mean, not only just that, you know, they're getting old, but is their faith really, really strong that there's something on the other side, so they're looking forward to that?
No, we
that
don't talk
why?
like that. No, I think she just wants us to have what we want. And she has different conversations with my sister and my brother.
But what your grandmother wants to be buried in is in a sealed bag at the back of her closet, so you don't have to make those decisions.
Yeah.
When the day comes, that's her final day, you just take that with.
The understanding I have is what you die in, that is what your ghost outfit is. So so if I were to pass today, nobody will be impressed. Not one person up
From
there
neither of us.
will be impressed. But if I I don't want to be buried in any, I won't be buried. I'm going to be cremated. So I don't want to, I don't know.
A lot of people are saying that right now, but I thought, all right, well, and the reason we're talking about it is with Richard Simmons passing, his brother said, yeah, he got buried in his iconic tank top and shorts.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the right fit for him, right? Like
Absolutely.
That's if you saw Richard Simmons, you'd be like, if you ever saw him in like a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt, you'd be like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah. You want to be as comfortable as possible for the afterlife.
So how about yours? What's your final fit?
I'm going to have to go with the hoodie. You know, I got to stay true to me. Who wants to show up and do a funeral, like a visitation? You're going to look at me and the exact same thing. Why is she all dressed up? She was never dressed up normally. Why does she have makeup on her face? She only averaged 2 days a month with that. You know, I want as little effort as possible. I'm sure the people that work at the funeral home will appreciate that.
Anything in the casket with you?
Maybe something that reminds me of family. Like, I would love for everybody in the family to put something in there that, you know,
We did that with my dad.
Is sacred to both of us. Maybe you have like a private conversation about something, and then they're like, oh, she would love this. You know, like my grandfather, Blue Moon. He loves him a blue moon.
There it
Every
is.
single lunch we go out to, he has a blue moon with an orange peel, and that's him.
Now, when the
you know?
time comes, you're not going to put a blue moon in his casket, are you?
I don't
Are
know.
you?
I think I might.
It's a great
like
note.
every single get together. Do you have Blue Moon stocked? Grandpa's going to want one, you know? So it's not us saying, oh, you know, you'd like to drink. It's nice
I don't think
memory.
it's an ode to a raging alcoholic. I
Yeah.
think it's this is one of his
And he's not. He just
enjoyments
loves,
while he was on the planet.
once a day, a glass of wine or out to lunch, his Blue Moons. And you know, that afternoon, we're going to go out to lunch and have a Blue Moon in his honor. So.
Let's say I die in the next hour of the show, and you've got to pick my fit. What are you putting me in?
I am going to put you in a radio station shirt, but not one of ours, like another radio station.
Just to
around
rub it
the
in.
station.
That's such a D move. That's such.
Yeah, you know I'm not going to be. Why would I start being nice then?
I think I want to go in. I've got a couple of customized Cubs jerseys.
Okay.
I want probably one of those, and then like you, I think same. I'll probably be cremated, but you never see anybody from the waist down, so I would just be like,
I'd be fine in my underwear.
I'd be fine naked.
Yeah.
I think it should be a shirt and then no pants.
No, I need underwear. I want my big butt underwear that I'm comfortable in when I go to bed. The underwear, so I don't know if you grasp how large my bedtime underwear is.
Well, I did see that. When they landed the
Yeah.
last rocket, I saw the parachute come down. I was like, it's a cat right there on the
Exactly.
waistband,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh
You're
my
hilarious.
god, that's it.
So my sister, I saw her at the birthday party this weekend, and she always wants to make sure everyone knows that she's the younger one, that, you know,
Youth is on her side.
youth is on her side. She gets Botox like I do. I feel like I do look younger, but she has this app.
No, she looks a lot younger.
No. So this app
10 years probably.
will. Do you feel like you know what you're going to look like when you're older? Like your dad,
sure.
you probably will look exactly like your dad.
Almost exactly.
Yeah. And you got a little bit of your mom, but I think full on Gary. So I think I know exactly what you're going to look like. Do you want to see? She has an age progression app that sometimes it's so accurate it needs about 23 hours to spit out an image of what you're going to look like. She sent this to me to make sure I remembered.
That's what you're going to look like?
That's what.
For sure.
She scanned my face.
Sure.
You're
Can you post that?
blind.
Will you post that, please?
Do you want to see what yes, I will. This is what she's going to look like. And
I believe it.
why do you believe it? Why do you believe that?
That's what, I believe that's what she'll look like when she's in her 60s.
We will be that drastically different in really?
Yep.
Wow.
You've got to post that. I think people are going to absolutely... Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I just believe
then why are you trying not to laugh now?
I was thinking of a joke I saw on Seinfeld rerun.
Yeah.
But I think that's I can almost guarantee that's exactly what you're going to look like.
What way? I don't have any of those features. I am doing so much right now to preserve all of this.
Can you, just take a quick selfie without filters, without your 9 filters. Just
Not
take
today.
a quick selfie.
Not today.
Just put it side by side, or just take a picture of you that you like that's on your camera roll. Put that side by side and put it on the KCLD Facebook page. I think, and it's not a shot at you, but I think that's exactly what you're going to look like in 25 years.
This thing is not accurate.
When you're ready to retire,
Rude is what it is.
When you're ready to retire, I think that's the look you'll have. Here's what I do like about that look. It says a couple of things, and you wouldn't even have to know you, and it says a couple of things. First off, don't ever talk to me. Second off,
right.
I probably just dinged your car with my grocery cart.
But it's your fault.
Third off,
your car.
don't tell me I'm wrong because I'm not.
Okay.
Fourth off, I need an app. Fifth off, this diaper's too snug.
Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Everybody!
You're going to leave everything to your kid. You're going to save. You're going to scrounge. You're going to make sure that you don't live your best life so that
Well, I will
he can have all your money.
absolutely be comfortable in my older years, but anything left over is going to my baby and then his baby's babies. So,
can't you leave them with knowledge?
what knowledge do I have? I don't have any
didn't want to
hobbies.
say it, but-
I'm only in radio. What do you want me to say to them? But I want to at least sway them into loving me a little bit more with money.
This is a straight up bribe, is what you're saying.
Yeah, sure. But I can't believe you're not planning on squirreling anything away.
My kids are living a very blessed life right now.
Because your parents squirreled stuff away for them. They were lovely people, and they thought of that. You're not. Are you going to do that for your grandkids?
No. I'm under...
No.
No, I'm under the impression that my kids have been taught to be hardworking and that money just doesn't grow on trees. It just doesn't come from... Now, my wife is under a completely different impression.
Yeah.
She believes
you guys have money
that because that they are the children of ours, that they should get everything they want whenever they want, no questions asked.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I plan on living my best years without thinking about whether or not they have rent money.
Okay.
That's
and that's fine.
their problem. It was my problem when I was 24. I had $150,000 worth of college debt, and I wasn't even going to go into the profession I studied.
But you at least have to know where it's going to go after you're gone, or it will go to probate. It will go to
we have a will.
other
We have a
people.
will set up. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
But I'm not going to leave them copious amounts of money. They will make their own and work for their own money.
Got it.
I'm not doing that. And Karina, you guys are kind of discussing the same thing here, right? You and your hubby?
My husband is arguing about just saving every single penny, and I want to live a nice life. I want to live a nice life, all of us, while we're still here, and teach our kids good values.
And that's kind of where JJ's at. He talked about it not too long ago, where their kids are like, "What are you leaving us?" They're like, "Nada,
Nothing.
chingada."
We're
Like,
spending it all.
Yeah.
If there's property left behind, that's fine. But I'm spending it all. I'm going to die broke. And if they're smart enough to get on their own 2 feet, that's great. I don't mind leaving behind the property because you can't take it with you. But I'm spending it all.
Amen. I agree.
really, I feel like having a will and like some surprises to lessen the blow, I guess, of
That
your
doesn't make
parent
you
being
less
gone.
sad that your parents are dead when they leave you a bunch of money. It doesn't work that way. Now, I guess if you don't love them, maybe. But I just, when both my parents passed away, it didn't lessen the blow of like, hey, here's some money so you can get your wife a car. Like, that didn't help them, like, not be here. So I say spend it all. I'd be interested to see what everybody else thinks. So let me put you on hold, and we'll take some calls on this, okay?
Okay.
Rhiannon, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Great. Thanks for calling. We were discussing whether or not you're going to leave anything for your kids. Now, again, I'm under the impression that property they can divvy up and stuff like that, but I'm going to spend all my money. How do you feel about it?
I am with you. However, I am in the special category where I have a special needs kid.
Okay.
So I'm leaving. We're leaving, and my husband and I are leaving everything to her, but she's got 3 other siblings. So they're going to, we've had the talk with all of their siblings about how, family is the most important thing. And we don't care how the money is used as long as it's to take care of her, to provide for her.
What's the extent of her care needs? Like, does she need 24-hour care?
She's severely autistic.
Okay.
And she's nonverbal.
How do you guys put a dollar amount on that? Like, I mean, how old is she?
She is actually 12 years old now.
Okay, so
she's going to be
12.
13 in March.
You hope your children live a nice long life, like up to 90, or maybe, I mean, their generation actually is going to be the first generation that's expected to live to be 100. So you figure another 90 years. I mean, how do you put a dollar amount on that?
You don't.
Yeah.
You just hope it works out.
Are you wanting her to live with you as long as possible, or do you want to encourage her to learn to live on her own, even though she'll be in like an assisted living? Or would you rather have her be at home?
I want her to live with us as long as possible because, honestly, my husband and I, we just don't trust her care to other people.
Yep. Nobody takes care of her better than
many. Yeah. I mean, one day I hope that she can live completely independently if my husband and I aren't there, and it's her only option. But as far as planning wise, we hope to be there for her. So
I'm sure you love all your kids the same, but would one of them stick out as a better caregiver long term? Yes, okay. You don't want to say, I'm not making any names, but I think we can all look at our kids and go, one of you is way more caring than the other, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's a good plan. I appreciate your honesty as far as, hey, you want to spend it all, but you've got some other fish to fry.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm not the most smartest, but if I do the math, there's like $18,000 worth of cash up for grabs Wednesday morning during our live show. So if you're jonesing for a little money, we got it for you between 6 and 10 Wednesday morning. Right now, let's put a cap on the podcast. You got the Playhouse with Kat and JJ. Not often after doing this job for so long do I get nervous, but these are always one of the segments that we do where I'm like, oh, this could turn out really, really poor. We call it What's in a Name, where basically we just need to know your first name. And Kat's got this gift where if she can't tell you what you do for a living, then you win. But if she gets a spot on,
you'll win anyway.
You're piped. Yeah, we're probably going to give you tickets anyways. So let's start with line 3. What's your name, sir?
Nathan.
Nathan. Kat, what do you think Nathan does for a living?
Nathan, you are in law enforcement?
Yes.
Like, are you armed right now?
Not right now.
Okay, and when will you become armed?
Later tonight.
So if I did something bad, would you frisk me?
Oh.
Probably not.
Oh.
He'd call for a female backup, right?
Can somebody else do
Is
this?
that protocol?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Now, how long have you worked in law enforcement?
3 years.
Okay, and what's your feeling about society right now?
It's getting better.
That's what I was going to say.
I feel that's an optimistic answer.
I feel like it's getting better. I feel like more people are trying to not be a part of the problem, which makes me a little bit happier.
Yes.
Now, if you had to pick by listening to the show, who's a better citizen? Would it be Kat or myself?
I'm sorry, Kat.
I didn't hear that. You were breaking up a little bit, Nathan. Hang on a second, man. Even though Kat was absolutely
He tries to make people think I steal my coffee from Quick Trip every morning, which is not true.
Nathan, as a law enforcement official, if you walk in somewhere, take something, and don't pay for it, is it stealing?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Thank you. This is a little game we like to call What's in a Name. Kat found out at an early age, just like when her parents would have friends over, that they would say, my name is Kate.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, what do you sell furniture?
Be like, are you kidding me?
It's almost a form of psychosis.
Yeah.
Psychics. Maybe that's what I was looking for. But we just need your first name. And if Kat can't tell you what you do for a living, well, then that makes you a winner. How about you, line 3? What's your name?
Allie?
Allie. So is your real name Allison, though?
Yes.
Okay, cool, because that's important here. Kat, what are you feeling about Allison?
Okay. Allison, I'm going to say you are a social worker.
Yes.
Wow, you're doing such
okay.
good in the world. Are you enjoying that profession, or you wish you would have went into something else?
No, I love it. I really do.
Wow.
All right. Well, we'll ask you the same question we just asked our cop friend. Do you feel like society's getting better?
I think so. I'm optimistic about it.
Well, stick with it. They need in that profession more people like you that are compassionate, that are driven, just want to make a change.
Do you
So,
find that you bring your work home a lot? Like, does it weigh on you when you see the bads going on?
I'm sure.
Sometimes it really does, but you really got to adjust your focus to remember, stay in the moment and stay with your family.
Yeah, well said. Thank you.
Money.
Jeff, what are you going to do with all this money when you win it?
I have no idea yet. We have to win it first.
Well, let's put the cart in front of the horse here. What do you want to spend it on?
A new four-wheeler or something like that.
Oh, nice. Golden bud.
Guy. Now, we talked a little bit off the air, and you work in the farm implement business. What do you sell? John Deere's, Massey Ferguson's? What do you sell? Case, gotcha. Oh, I spoke 2 dirty words there, didn't I? I'm sorry. Do you hate anyone with a John Deere? Is that where it's at right now in your life?
No.
No, okay. All right. He's a sensible guy, Kat. So, Jeff, are you familiar with Coulda, Shoulda, Woulda? Have you heard this game before?
Yes.
Okay, pretty simple. First big decision. And I don't want to sway you. Kat said she's got good words. Here's the deal, man. I got to go potty so bad. So if you choose me, you're doing us both a favor, and I can probably help you with the $2,000. But you got to make a choice. Who do you want to play with?
We'll go with Kat.
God, he's like, I know you got a tinkle, but I'm going to make you suffer. All right.
Okay.
That's on you. We'll kick Kat out of
I'll
the
make
studio.
sure to walk nice and slowly.
Well, I got to go so bad. It's like 3 cups of coffee in this morning already. So as Kat makes her way out into the hallway, I'll break down the game for you. It's a pretty simple scenario. I'm just going to give you 5 words, and all I need you to do, Jeff, is give me the first 5 words that pop into your mind. If Kat gives us the same 5 words when she comes back, you got yourself a pretty healthy down payment on a brand new 4-wheeler. Any questions?
Nope.
Then we got to move fast because I got to go real bad. Jeff, what's the first word that pops into your mind when you hear pencil?
Paper.
And the first word you think of when you hear egg?
Chicken.
Yeah, I would have said that too. All right, Jeff, what do you think of first when you hear stomp? S-T-O-M-P.
Go feet, stomp your feet.
Feet, good. That's what I would have said too. You and I would have been 3 for 3 already. What's the first word you think of when you hear fly?
Fly. Let's go bad.
Say that one more time.
Bad.
Bed, B-E-D.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last, and you heard me say fly there, right? F-L-Y?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that one.
That just didn't make sense to me. Fly is the word, F-L-Y. So okay, I'll give you a chance to change this up.
Why? Let's go pesky.
Pesky. Gotcha. And last word, Jeff. What's the first word you think of when you hear jungle?
George.
Okay, I like that. We'll bring that back in here. You and I would have probably been 3 for 5 on this, so hopefully you do a little bit better with Kat. We'll let her get all situated and snuggled back into her corner, and then what we're going to do is give her the same 5 words if she can recite back the same 5 words you just gave us. You're $2,000 richer. Let's go!
Okay.
I think a couple of these are pretty universal. We may be fringy on a couple others. Kat, what's the first word you think of when you hear pencil?
Pencil, pen. Did he say right?
He said paper.
Pencil, paper. Like that.
Well, that was a big
Right off the start, right away.
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. How about Kat? What's the first word you think of when you hear egg?
Egg. Chicken.
Chicken is what he said. Yes, well done.
Gosh.
Kat, what's the first word you think of when you hear stomp?
Stomp. Foot.
I would have taken that feet, he said. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Should have gone with my words. All right.
How about the first word you think of when you, and you're not going to get this one, when you hear fly?
Swatter.
Oh, see, I would have said airplane. He said pesky. That pesky fly.
Okay.
Damn it. And your last word, what do you think of when you hear jungle?
Book. Jungle Book.
He said George.
We've got email.
So I wanted to get to Angela's email, but she wrote this to us, and I'm on Team Angela 100%. So she said that her husband told her the other day that he was the one that called the tow truck on their neighbor. She says, yes, our neighbor forgets our property line, but it's never bothered me. He said he did it to teach her a lesson. She's a single mom, already working 2 jobs. She has 2 kids. I want to let her know that he's sorry, and I will reimburse her for the tow fee or any other fees that were accrued. I can't believe that he did this. I don't want her to think that he's a massive jerk, but you know she's going to. Should I keep her thinking that it was the city that did this, or do I do what I think is the right thing and give her money? The holidays are around the corner. That's all I think about. This woman's like, this is not something I expected.
Can you just give her the money without saying your husband did it?
That is saying it.
No, you could just be like, listen.
Why would a neighbor ever just give you money for having your car towed?
I know times aren't exactly perfect for you. We've got a little extra. I just wanted to say, tough luck. Quit parking in our lawn.
The line that says she forgets what our property line is, it infers that she's already been spoken to by Angela's husband. Don't be parking on this part of the street. This is in front of our house. This is a blah, blah, blah. And he felt okay to pick up the phone and call the tow truck company and say, come remove this vehicle from the front of my house. It was doing nothing.
I didn't even know you could do that.
So, I don't know. Every city has different rules about what side to park on, whatever it is. Angela, I would risk this because your husband is kind of a jerk for doing this. Knowing that she's a single mom and times are tough right now for everybody, even if you are not a single parent, to do this just because you're angry, I would say Derek might be a couple of steps away from this.
I think he's there.
And I would feel, if this were me in this case, I would feel like I would have to go
You
over
would
there
walk
and
over
say,
there, you'd give her $150, just say, I'm sorry, my husband called the cops on you.
Listen,
or called the tow truck.
Sometimes you are not the company you keep. And I just want to apologize. And I know that you're already strapped.
Well, listen, rules are rules. Without rules in our society, we're living in a jungle and everything is anarchy.
This is not that.
Next thing you know, she's cooking up meth in the basement, giving it to your kid on the way out to school.
Okay. So parking in front of a house is a gateway to meth.
I think we all know that. We learned that in DARE.
Okay. I need somebody else's opinion, please, because this one is not rational. I need to know.
You would give her the money and say, I'm sorry, my husband did this.
I would. I feel like I want to do it anyway because I have loved ones that are single moms and I know the struggle.
But if she was parking in the wrong spot, don't you think she should get towed?
So she parked a little bit in front of their house.
Several times.
I mean, I see it daily what bothers my husband that shouldn't. And
this is right up his alley.
This is right up his alley.
Let's circle back on Angela's email here real quick. Basically, what would you do if your husband called the tow truck on your single mom neighbor because she was parking in the wrong spot?
Yeah, so see you later. She said that her husband had it. This woman keeps parking a little bit on their property line, and she's a single mom, and she's like, it never bothered me. Like it does, and he did it to teach her a lesson, which it's like, really, you're not a teacher. Just have another grown-up conversation. Maybe she forgot. I feel like a single mom would have a lot on her mind, but he says that He wanted to do that, so she didn't park there anymore. She already works 2 jobs. And what Angela wants to do is just walk over there and say, listen, I'm sorry. I want to reimburse you for the tow fee. But she doesn't want her to know that it was her husband, but she will.
The word of the day so far via texting is jackass.
Yeah.
That is being used almost every single time. Claire says, for sure, her husband's a jerk, reimburse. Darian says the same thing. Brittany, along the same lines. Let's get a guy's angle on this. Hi, Matt. How are you today, man?
Good.
Good. What do you think about this? What would you do?
Well, I've had it where people have parked in my yard and I've tried to mow. And
Yeah, they're parking in your yard. This is like on the street.
Well, not, well, like on the street, like kind of like on the edge.
Sure. Okay. So you weren't able to mow around it. I got it.
Yeah, but I just mowed anyways.
Okay.
And if rocks hit their car, they hit their car.
All right.
I like that
Did
angle.
you try to roll over rocks so they would hit their car the way you're talking? Like this?
Maybe.
Yeah, sometimes, you get that feeling you do want to teach people a lesson, but is it really your place?
So the deed is done. Do you go back and give this girl some money, Matt, if it's you?
Depends on the day, how I'm feeling.
Like this guy, he's just flowing. Like, again, there's got to be some rules out there, right? I think I would have taken the initiative of first just going over and saying, hey, I'm going to need a key made for your car so I can move it to the right spot.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay attention to that, then I'm probably calling the tow truck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live with myself. Just knowing all of the details of her life, I don't want to make someone's life harder, But if it were a couple
everybody's struggling though, so
some people are struggling more though. I'm not struggling as much as maybe a single mom with 3 kids. I can say that for sure. Some people are just, you don't have to make their life harder, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Matt ain't feeling that.
I think
All
you
right,
want
Matt,
to. That's okay.
He wants to play tough, but he's like, really, seriously, I wouldn't have done it because, anyways. Hey, thanks, Matt. Have a great morning today, bud.
Yep, you too.
All right, bye.
A lot of people are just saying you got to give this girl the money back.
Yeah.
That is the overwhelming thought on this.
And to even go over there and say, listen, I would like you to keep this to yourself. And I would also like you to just stop doing what you're doing because it's going to happen again. And I want to apologize on my husband's behalf. Please don't tell him I'm doing this.
That probably is
the
the
money.
best route to go, huh? Your thoughts, definitely text us. And again, if you're going to use the word jackass, you're not first.